Alright guys, this is part 3 of trying to get better reception. So I tried many different things. Let's recap from part 2. This is normally the power that drives this antenna diversity thing, which actually was to control better reception going one way or the other. And in part 2 I said just make a jumper that connects these two together, and you can see the parts on part 2 where to buy these parts to make the jumper for that, and that is the jumper. So I connected it back up. So some of the things I wanted to try was, I know there was 3 volts coming to this, so what I did is I made a circuit, and let me show you, to try to bump the 3 volts back up to 12 volts. I was just curious if that was going to work. So this is a crazy circuit I built. It actually just found parts on Amazon. It takes the 3 volts, bumps it up to 5 volts. Then you can find a 5 volt that bumps it up to 12 volts. And basically I wired this up into that just to see what would happen. And basically whatever it's driving, which is probably coming from the head unit, the 3 volts, it can't drive enough current to power that circuit in the back. So basically whatever's coming out of the head unit to power that is the circuit's kind of can't supply enough current. It's the components are probably burned out or something, or have failed. So that was my first attempt, just to see if that would work. Bump up the 3 volts to 12 volts, but not enough current's coming out from the head unit, so I know that was a problem. So the next thing I was going to try was I bought a splitter. So I was going to try to hook up a second antenna. So basically what I did is, it normally had this on here, which I already cut off, and this one, and I already put connectors, because I noticed on the passenger kick panel there's a spot where the antenna connector is, and I'll show you that. So right here in the passenger kick panel, if you pop that off, you'll see here's actually the connector that comes, the coax that comes back from the back all the way to the front. So I know this is actually correct, because if I plug it in and unplug it and turn on the radio, I get music, radio station sound, but if I unplug that, I get nothing but static. So I know that's correct. So what I tried was I put in this Y unit, so that way I could hook up a second antenna. Got this on Amazon, and wanted to see if that made a difference. So basically it does it, and I'll show you that. Okay, right now what I have is, this is going to the head unit. I plugged in my Y. I didn't plug the other end going to the back, and I went ahead and plugged in this antenna. So basically, once you do that, you get your radio back, you get some radio station. I'm going to go put it on a weaker station and see if that makes a difference.
For the ones who get it done.
Varicose and spider veins.
So here's a weaker station. I'm going to plug in the back, so that way I have 2 antennas, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Okay, here's everything hooked up. I got this antenna hooked up. I got the back plugged back in. It's going to the head unit. I'll put this up near the dash and see if that makes a difference.
Get free advice from our personal stylists and save on dresses, $69 to $99.99.
And basically, to me it sounds the same. I don't think the stations come in any stronger by having that second antenna. So that was kind of a bust. Putting a Y in there to a second antenna doesn't really make improve reception that much. But at least I know that now.
In the big league.
Okay, now I'll tell you what I tried next. Okay, here's the back with the my jumper between the white and black, and I get pretty good reception. The stations come in pretty strong except for the real weak ones, and adding a second antenna didn't help. So what I want to see, does this box actually make a difference in the reception? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plug these back into the box. I'm going to take an external 12-volt supply and power this. So here it is plugged back in. I'm not powered up here, and you can hear that the stations are coming in really poor. And what I have here is, I know there's a 12-volt output connected to ground, and go put 12 volts to the box. So now I'm powering the box. The coax are plugged back in, and the reception comes in pretty good, but I don't think it's any better than me just jumpering these two the way it was. So when I go to the weaker stations, it still sounds staticky. Let me switch to the weaker stations with 12 volts applied to the back here. Okay, this is the weaker station, and the back is being powered by 12 volts, and the coax is just plugged right into the box. So this is what it sounds like, staticky. Now I'm going to go and disconnect the 12 volts and do the jumper again and see if which one sounds better. Okay, I took away the 12 volts, I unplugged the coax in the back, jumpered it, and this weak station sounds exactly the same basically. So I think basically for me, the bypassing that box with a jumper is just as good as having the box. Because the really stronger stations all come in fine.
Alone in a hot parked car.
So maybe someday I'll actually trace that wire that goes back that powers the box, because I know it probably comes up through here somewhere in the bundle, and I just have to ID which one and just take it to the fuse box to an accessory, so when the car is turned on it powers the box. But right now I don't think there's any advantage in making that box work. I think it's just as good as using the jumper. So tried everything with a second antenna, powering the box. The best is just the easiest thing to do is just go ahead and put that jumper in the back. So basically, if you're gonna decide to make that jumper, what you're gonna need is the plug. You want to get the blue one, and the jack, which is the blue one, and some RG174 cable. And there's the where you can get the stuff. You go to part 2 video, and actually I listed it in the comment section. The key is you want to get the blue one, because if you get like the colored ones, like the white one, which would work as long as you match up the colors in the back, they're keyed. So for example, this one will not plug into that one, or this one won't plug into that one. But the blue is universal, has all the keys cutouts in it, and this has no notches on it like you see on this one. It has like 2 notches here that makes it keyed. So this one's not keyed. So this actually works in any color. It'll work in the black one, the white one. So the key is to get the blue. I think they call it Z blue, light blue or something. So go ahead and make that. Use your skills in soldering and make a little jumper, and your radio will come right back to life. And I think that's the easiest thing to do, and reception is not going to be any better if you try to fix the box. So good luck on that, and I'll post another video soon.